Every client you have ever pitched has said the same thing. We'd love to hire you, but can you show us some previous work? And you can't, because nobody hired you yet. Here's the thing, that's not a portfolio problem, that's a framing problem. When we started Daedalus XR, my software agency, we had 0 clients. We built a 3D render in 4 hours using pre-made marketplace assets. We called it VR Environment Prototyping, and it won us our first client. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to build a portfolio that looks professional enough to start conversations, even if you're starting from nothing today. It's very important how to build a portfolio from scratch, even if you have no prior experience. This is the portfolio paradox, because clients want to see previous work before hiring you, but work doesn't come without clients first. So how can you find a solution to this problem? The solution, in my case, when I built Daedalus XR, was to get creative. Because you don't need a perfect portfolio. You need just one good enough portfolio to start a conversation with your client. And then you can land that client only by speaking with them and making them understand how capable you are in building the solution the client desires. Here are 3 strategies you can use right now to build a portfolio fast. First of all, use your personal projects. Every developer in this world has some personal projects they have worked on. Take them and show them. For example, you have built something for yourself, like a simple app, a website, or a 3D model. Just take all of your personal projects and put them in your portfolio. And don't worry about how polished the code is, how advanced the functions you developed are, because the clients don't know anything about code usually. They only look at the final result. Another thing I used when I built my first portfolio inside Daedalus XR was to reframe the academic work I did when I was at college. For example, when I was at university in Bologna, in Italy, I did a lot of virtual reality projects for overcoming some of the exams. I took all of these projects and gave them a new look. I reframed them into more work projects. So if you manage to present that academic project as a professional work, you can really nail it. Describe the problem your project solved and the tech you used. And I can assure you that this is enough to impress your clients. This is another interesting way you can build your portfolio as a beginner agency owner. Use templates, use 3D assets or frameworks that you found online. And don't worry, because this is not cheating, this is not copying other works. You are basically taking these templates and you are customizing them and present them as a professional deliverables. And again, clients want results, so don't overthink about the process you went through in order to achieve that result, but focus only on the result. And this is very important because you have to be very fast in preparing this portfolio. So many people, when I give this kind of advice, many people think that I am suggesting to be dishonest. But that's not true, because there is a clear difference between being dishonest and resourceful and honest. For example, if you are just edited a Shopify theme and you say, I built a fully custom e-commerce platform from scratch, that's not true. That's fake, and that's being dishonest. But if you say, I developed a functional e-commerce website with custom design and great UX, that's actually true. So What separates dishonest founders from resourceful and honest founders is how you present your work. Don't tell your client that you did something you didn't actually do, but reframe what you did in a way that looks professional, clean, and interesting. For example, if you say I modeled every single 3D asset entirely by myself, and instead you're just showing some 3D asset that you bought on a marketplace, that's cheating, of course, that's dishonest. But if you say I created a polished virtual reality environment with customized, optimized assets, that's true, because you bought the asset from the marketplace and you just put them together in a VR environment. This kind of work took 2 hours instead of 30 hours, and that's good. That's time optimization. You are being resourceful and honest rather than dishonest. If you are interested in how to build a portfolio from scratch, I can go deeper on this topic on my free guide. You can find it in the link in the description. It's totally free and it tells you about my journey as a first-time founder, how I achieved full-time income from my software agency in my first 12 months. Free link in description. Here you can see an example of one of the first pieces in the portfolio of Daedalus XR. As I told you, we used pre-made marketplace assets, we put them together and arranged them in a way that looks professional, and then we put it on our portfolio online. It took only 4 hours to produce it, and we presented it as a VR environment prototyping. Of course, this is very simple, but it is for showing what you can do. And this is actually the mindset shift I would like to give you in this video. You don't need an impressive portfolio to get started. You only need a good enough portfolio to start a conversations. And focus always on what you can do rather than what you did. So, build something basic, frame it professionally, and let the real work replace the placeholder work. Because after months and months, while you start getting clients, of course, you can start putting in your portfolio your real work. So, this is my idea, this is my experience on how I built Daedalus XR from scratch. If you are interested in this kind of content, you can follow my YouTube channel. I'll publish some similar videos very soon.